yes. O te tonu ia o lea ua mai o pala tu shama o ngā. Na o le taia tu whaitore e o lea wa nei o tumanau. Na te tā o tupa ia i o pao whitiri o te i le whai o tamata o ngā o taurima. O tupa ia mai tai Samoan tui manua se ia pā ia pia kutu. Ia pa ia lava mai papau. Se ia o papau. Ia au nei asu. Ina ua pala o atu le Suman President. Suman Stars and Main. Rock Fasili hoi na. Ia le a ia tamu football e whai tale o na te ia e ui leo. Ia o tatu atu. Ile se atu te le. We all strive to be the best that we can be in whatever we do. So I'm going to be here to share with you a little bit of what I do. I'm going into my 30th year with the San Francisco 49ers. Here with I am who stuck. Let's out 49ers. Baby, she was here, she went first hit. You know, whāua o tā tournament up there. That's who you yes, stoi no root. O stoi tane o te o pele. Ia, o toi na root te o pele. Ia so o tā o whina. E watu ale o tā le, mai sama tiki na watu o tā. And o retire my football. I find the tournaments. Although father-in-law is first take it whatever. My kalapule and a leave son. It did not for my own father-in-law, o te tai and able to know for yale. You will go into the door and you know to eat another to elevate. Yeah, you're talking about Jesse to San Francisco, San Francisco. Yeah, o maftana na, o leva hoyo o to toi, maftana ne, e fafta yatu. O lea o mai atu ia o tātou taitai. Ia lea whoi a i fo taitai. Whao o wina le nei, whao manhoi, whao tai no lea manua. You know, I co-founded the Polynesian Football Hall of Fame in 2013. And we developed a mentorship program of our former legendary Samoan players and Polynesian players to be there and be there for our present players. It is important for us to be there for them, to be a shoulder to lean on as they embark on their careers and maneuver the journey. The one thing I do know, despite the fact that most of them were born here, they are very, very proud of their Samoan and Polynesian culture. Whenever they get interviewed with the media, they are proud to say, we are playing for something that is bigger than ourselves. They are playing for something that is bigger than ourselves. That something is faith, family, and culture. Our Polynesian kids, compared to when I played, you know, you saw 3 or 4 channels on TV to find out how the 49ers did. You go and read the newspaper, or you listen to the radio. Today, these kids, if they breathe out of the wrong nostril, they might be in trouble, and their career might be ending. It's very, very challenging times for them. But the one thing I do know is that their culture is very dear to them. What is my Samoan culture? This is something that I share with you. What is my Samoan culture to me? In my 15 years as a player and 23 years as an administrator for the San Francisco 49ers, my culture to me is my identity. It is who I am in the way I walk, in the way I talk, That's something that we share with our kids today. And it doesn't matter how many Super Bowls that I won. Respect and humility is the number one thing that the Samoans want to see in anybody that goes out there and play on TV and represent them. Respect and humility is at the highest consideration in our Samoa. Why is that important? Because I don't care how many Super Bowls I won. When I bleed on that football field, it's Samoan blood that runs down my elbows. And I've never forgotten that. And that's something that we have. You know, when I played, there were 4 of us. Then we'll go up to 6, and then we'll go up to 7, and then we'll come back down to 5. Today we have 110 Polynesian players in the National Football. And close to 1,000 in college, in Division 1, Division 1AA, Division 2, and Division 3. It is important for us to do our part to represent the people that love us. And to be honest with you, we have kids that are making $1 million a year. Our kids today make a whole lot of money. And the reason why it's important for us, the Hall of Fame, to make sure that we gather them in and mentor them. Because it's very easy for them to say, I don't need my culture. I have enough money to take care of myself and my family for the rest of my life. Why would I need Samoa? But it's so important for them to understand that faith, family, and culture is a foundation of who you are. That is who you are. The respect, the whāwalo of the Samoa is the core of who we are as people. And what's funny is there's a lot of influences out there that's challenging the root and foundation of who we are. Because when I played, there was no social media where we have the freedom to share our opinions. Yeah. Now, anybody can share their opinion. And our culture is being challenged. Our Christianity is being challenged. Because we don't have the discipline that we were brought up in the core of who we are as Samoans. It's no longer there. It's the freedom of people to say whatever they want to say because they hide behind the keyboard. But we may not see you, but God sees you because that's the way we were raised in the Samoa. So how important is it for us to share respect with the kids that are making millions and millions of dollars? I believe the $5 now is not the same as what it used to be when I grew up. And there's a funny story. And, our minister was funny with the service as far as reality of the situation, and some of you, the way you count the scores. There was a story of a young man that played with a minister, and it was $10 a hole. When they got to the 17th hole, it was even. They both teed off. The young man had the honors. He teed off straight down the middle, 270 yards. The minister teed off and hooked it into the bushes. So they went to look for the minister's ball. And after 10 minutes, the minister said, go ahead and hit your second shot. If I can't find my ball, I'll go back and tee off. On the way to the ball, this young man saw something white underneath a big rock in the bushes. But he went and hit his ball. He hit his ball and it was 15 feet from the hole, his second shot. And on his way up to the green, all of a sudden, he heard a voice saying, I found my ball. And then all of a sudden the ball came flying into the green and was 1 foot away from the hole. But here's the dilemma. this young man confront the minister that I had your ball in my pocket? Or do I let it go? You know, in the old Samoan way, when I grew up, you let it go. Don't be disrespectful to those who you know I'm talking to you. The respect back then when I grew up is a little different than the respect now. You let it go, because the Samoan belief is the blessings that comes to you. I'm letting the minister cheat one time. Will multiply. Honestly, faith is the most important thing in our culture. It's the guiding light of who we are. I don't know if you guys remember 4 or 5 years ago when Alabama won the national championship. Tua Tagovailoa came into the game and brought Alabama back and threw touchdown passes in overtime. There were hundreds and thousands of fans in that stadium running around crazy. There were millions of people watching on TV. And during all of that chaos, they stuck the microphone into his face and asked questions. And Tua, out of excitement, was about to answer and paused himself and said, "Hold up. First of all, I need to give the glory to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Because I don't want my parents to get mad." That's faith. In Proverbs it says, what we're afraid of is that our youth, all that money that they're making right now, will stray away from us and say we no longer want to be in that umbrella of living under the facade. But you know what's funny? Is we're not giving these kids enough credit. They are so proud of who they are. The thing that they always say is, Jesse, we're playing for something that's bigger than us. We're playing for God, we're playing for our families, and we're playing for our people. That's what's important. And that's why Samoan puts faith first. And my last story is, you know, I had a dream that I passed on. And when I got up there, I saw a white and Mexican guy. So I walked up to them and I said, "Hey guys, how do I get into heaven?" And the Palami guy goes, "Well, God is right down the road." I said, "How far?" He goes, "About a half a mile." And then he goes, "But Jesse, you're not on the list." I said, "What do you mean you're not on the list?" "I'm not on the list." He says, "Jesse, knowing how you were as a football player, you know you're not on the list." And I said, "Don't discourage me." So we started walking a half a mile to where God is. We got there and there's a big crowd. And then the Palani guy says to me, "There's only one way you can make it into heaven if your name is not on the list. If you ask God a question he can't answer." So we kept walking and the Palani guy goes, "I'll go first." So he goes first. We see him whisper the question to God. God whispers something back to him. He put his head down and started walking back to us. The Mexican guy goes. He whispered his question to God. God whispered back to him. And he put his head down and started walking back to me. I was nervous, so I walked up. I whispered my question to God. God looked at my feet, then looked into my eyes and said, open the gate. As the gate was opening, the Palangigay goes to God, God, that's not fair. What did Jesse ask you that you can't answer? And God said, Jesse asked me, what years my Samoan people are ever going to come together and stick together and work together. I'm honored to be here. Thank you, Sergeant Major. Thank you to all of our leaders. Thank you to everyone. May God bless you. And please, here's one of the oldest tricks that I learned from God. When you play a par 5 and you have a double bogey, you're walking to your car. You know you had a 7, and you turn around and say, hey, is this a par 4 or a par 5? Because you know if they say it's a par 5, oh, then I got a bogey.